George just said about just to
Hey,
piggyback
Tom,
on
can I,
who's that, Bill? Did I miss something? Bill?
Whoever just jumped in, hop in again.
I think it was Bill Bliss.
It
if I'm
was
not-
Bill Bliss, but I don't see him on the call anymore. I
Right,
think he
he
might have
dropped it.
accidentally hung up.
Yeah, he dropped the call. Yeah.
Okay.
Get back.
So just to piggyback off of what George just said, we got a couple dynamic coaches that are joining our group and our organization, and they are bringing a couple programs to us that will blow your mind. It is going to be an initial investment on your part, but it's not
So
anything
now Tom
huge.
froze, but he's saying blow your mind. So you froze a little bit on blow your mind, Tom.
Okay, so the program's going to blow your mind, and it is an investment on your part, but nothing that's going to break the bank. So it's going to be a great opportunity to bring in other agents so they can get on these calls, coaching, and they can get involved in the coaching program as well. It's 90. We're going to do 90-day increment ones, and this is just I've been doing a lot of thinking about this and how can I bring more value, but there's a lot of material, a lot of time invested in this, but also what I come to realize is our Friday calls, our Monday calls, Tuesdays, every day these calls are dynamic. But here's the real challenge that we get when we get on some of these calls is the accountability attached to it, right? And Fred DeFalco talks about this, and so does George. There's no accountability built into our system because it's hard to do that when we're doing these calls that way. But if it's a program that you're invested in and there is accountability structure to it, it works, right, Claire? Yeah, and Claire's another one of those amazing coaches. So I'm going to dig into something that I've been talking about this for several months, and a couple of my coaching clients, I've been pushing them to do this. And guys, guess what? It works. If you want to earn an income today, if you want to earn extra income today, Frank, I see you on there. I know you couldn't get on, but if you missed something, we're going to be speaking tomorrow. If you're driving, don't take notes. If you're sitting down, take notes. I'm going to share with you a lot of information today, but here's what I want you to do. You're going to have to scroll around and search and find some of this stuff out for yourself too. That's how I learned it. I had to click here, click there, click here, click there. And I'm going to show you some of the stuff I've done. So I'm on a call with an agent. She's extremely frustrated. And she's like, Tom, I really want this listing. I really want this listing. I said, what do you think it'll sell for? She goes, I think I can net them 625 easy. And you know, they want 675. And I'm like, so tell me a little more. She goes, well, I'm working with them as a buyer, but their house isn't listed and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, you ready? Here's how it's going to work. I want you to go to this company. I want you to ask them first, are you willing to accept a cash offer? If they say yes, I want you to go there. I want you to take some photos, a quick video, and here's what I want you to do. They did it. Guess what their income's going to be on that? Bryce, how much will that be? Gross, over 18,000?
Yeah, because it's going to be 3% of 675.
20,000.
20,000. So a
Okay,
little bit more than
I'm
that.
sorry, I messed up. It's going to be 20,000. Now, tell me how much that's going to be. It's going to be 3% of how much?
677. But
And the
667.
seller only wanted to net how much? 620-ish?
625, and we were getting them 628.
And you didn't think that house would sell for 675. You were blown away when you seen that number come in, right?
Yeah, we
Okay.
definitely both were.
So here's the thing I want you to think about, guys. For sale by owners, sellers, friends, family. Does it matter what they sell their home for? To us, it's none of our darn business. It doesn't matter. Even if we represent them and we put a price on it, it is what they're willing to accept. I want you to think about this. It is exactly what they're willing to accept. Take yourself out of it. It's not about you. Here's what it is about you. Walking them through the process to get to the end goal, which is sell. If you don't feel they're getting the most amount of money, that's none of your darn business. It's just the way it is. Take the emotion out of it and get in and do the business, which you're supposed to do. So I call a for sale by owner only because I wanted to prove a point to some people. Only wanted to prove a point, and it earned me $13,000, by the way, guys. It just went into my account this morning. Mr. For sale by owner, I am a realtor. I'm not working with you. I understand. If I brought you a cash buyer, would you be open to an offer? Absolutely. Of course I would. I said, I'm going to be there in 30 minutes. I'm going to take some photos. I'm going to bring you a cash offer today. I may bring you two. Would you be okay with that? Of course. He's for sale by owner at 419. I'm personally thinking about buying the house at 419 because I know it'll sell for about 5.25. Right? So I put him in the system. I get two identical offers for 435,000. Guess what he says? Let's do it. Let's do it. I said, perfect. So after inspections, I'm glad I didn't buy it because there was a lot of things there. So anyway, the company still moved forward. And guess what? Inspections only, no appraisals, and close when you choose the date. Now, with Leroy and Bryce, I'm just going to speak on their behalf for just a moment, and I'll let them jump in on this, because when I tell you the names of the company, I want you to research it. Here's how I want you to research it. I want you to go to the website, and it's Offerpad and OpenDoor. Don't do it now. Just don't do it now. I'm going to walk through a process with you. Offerpad and OpenDoor. Offerpad pays a 3% referral. OpenDoor pays 1% referral. Now, we all want 3% over 1%. But if the seller is willing, and I'm going to give you some scripts, to pay you a commission for the sale, now you can earn that plus whatever the referral is. Guys, who cares what the house sells for? And here's what I'm going to say. Offerpad and OpenDoor are our biggest competitors outside of Redfin in the real estate industry right now. They are scooping up inventory left and right. Who cares? Our goal is to list homes. If that for sale by owner does not list with us, why not take advantage of a cash buyer opportunity? Now, being with EXP, and there's many people on this call that are not with EXP, and that's okay. We have express offers. We have Frank Hopkins. We have investors that'll buy these homes as well. You have cash buyers. Hold on one second. I gotta let my 8-pound dog out. Go.
While Tom's doing that, I want to give you guys a quick footnote. The idea behind this, and at first to me, I was like, oh my God, there's no way. I don't want to support them. They are overpaying for houses. We are not supporting them. I'm helping them go out of business, one house at a time.
Well, and George, that's yes and no. Yes, you're right, because they lost $1 billion last year alone, and it's the investors investing in the company, so they got to keep the money moving, right? But here's what's interesting. So we closed yesterday. It funded today in my account, and I asked the seller, hey, I said, Jerry, I got a question for you. And his wife, Veronica, she's an emergency room doctor. And I said, can I just ask a question? Do you know I could have probably got you more money for that home? He goes, I know you could have. He goes, I would never hire a realtor after the last experience I had. I don't care how much I would save or earn. I had such the worst experience, Tom. He said, but after this, I'm going to refer you to everyone. So it's convenience, and you never know what that for sale by owner is going through. Here's what he moved here from California with his wife, and he had the worst experience. He was going to sue the real estate company. They treated him poorly, and he felt that all realtors were that way. So how you interact with the consumer, whether they want to work with you or not, is extremely important, because it's going to put a reflection on our industry and our professionalism. So I'm going to dig in. I'm going to dig into the company, and then I'm going to have Leroy and Bryce piggyback into this, because it's a true testimonial, guys. This is a true testimonial. okay, on both our sides. And by the way, I don't know if Joe and Michelle Vera are on the call. Again, there, Frank Hopkins had some success with it. So I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to, guys, yes, I'm using a MacBook. Okay, good. All right, so can you see my screen here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it says Offerpad. All right, so I gotta slide this. So in Offerpad, I just click the menu button and then I go to partners and I click agents. Okay, so it says enter your seller's property address. All the analyticals on the call right now. It doesn't matter if you have anything in writing by them. They said, bring me an offer, put the address in. It's going to give you an offer. Here's the conditions. It cannot be listed within the last 30 days. You don't need a listing agreement to show representation to the seller. It is a referral from Offerpad. They're paying you. You do have to see the transaction all the way through. You have to guide the seller through the whole transaction. You're not representing the seller, you're guiding them through the transaction. You put the address in there, within 10 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe even a minute, the offer will pop up. Here's what I challenge you to do. Put your own home address in there and see what they would pay for your home. Just to test it out. It's just a test, right? So that's Offerpad. Now, and they pay, like I said, they pay 3%. Now I'm going to go to OpenDoor. OpenDoor. Same thing, guys. Go to the menu button, go to agents, request an offer, and this is where it goes, right here. Now, so I just want someone to role play with me, and I'm going to do it with Bryce for a minute here, just because he's going to be Leroy and Bryce are going to be part of this call. Bryce, I noticed that you have a home for sale by owner at ABC, 123 ABC Street. I am a licensed real estate agent with EXP. My question to you is, are you accepting cash offers on this property with a quick close to your convenience?
Of course, I'm willing to look at any offer, and cash offers are the best.
Okay, fantastic. Can I come by within the next 30 minutes to an hour? I need to take some photos and a short little video of the property. I'm going to submit it to my investor groups and cash buyers that I have in my pocket that would be making an offer rather quickly on your property.
I mean, are you trying to get me to list the home? I don't
Nope,
want to list the home
nope.
with a realtor.
No, nope, I'm not trying to get the listing at all. I'm just going to bring you a cash offer.
All right, well, let's do it.
Bryce, I also have to ask this question. If I brought a buyer and I brought you an offer that you accepted, would you be willing to pay me a commission for a successful closing?
1%.
1%? All right, fantastic. All right, thanks, bud. I appreciate you even doing anything. Now, I don't care if I go to OpenDoor or Offerpad. Yeah, I'd rather go to Offerpad because it's 3%. He's paying me 1, I'll get 4, right? But you got to get a commission agreement on that. Okay, here's the thing. I come home, I put it in the system. I call Bryce back. Hey, Bryce, great news. I got an offer for you. I want to sit down and present it to you and show you how the numbers will make sense to you. Maybe, maybe not. But I'm doing what I told you I was going to do. Why do I want to sit with them?
Relationship, trust.
Relationship. Thanks, George. Yeah. Relationship. Do not throw up on them. I got you an offer and this is great. Sit with them, go through it. Because it's about relationship. And if they don't like the offer, hey, I completely understand you're not going to do that. I would love the opportunity to show you my value proposition where I can help you get more money. This is a convenient offer. There's no showings, no nothing, just inspections. I want to show you another way where if I listed the home, I can help you earn more from our aggressive marketing plan with professional photography and everything else. Would you be open to that?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So you see what just happened. I called him. I was direct with him. I asked him if he's accepting cash offers. I told him I'm not trying to get the listing, and I brought him an offer, but I'm sitting with him. Did I do everything I said I was going to do? Did I try to manipulate him? Did I try to be the best salesperson in the world and go, I just convinced him to list with me? Did I? No, I did everything I said I was going to do, and I built a relationship with him. So as I talk to agents across the country, they're like, I hate Offerpad and OpenDoor. My customer just, I had a listing appointment. They called me and they just sold to them. I can't stand them. I'm like, well, why don't you work with them? I didn't know you could. So I'm bringing this to you guys. It's like an express offer. You have options. Right now, the number one goal for you is to help sellers get their home sold. You want to list it, you want to sell it, right? If you can bring this buyer in to the seller, who cares if they list it down the road? The seller is accepting the offer. It is none of your business. It's not your money. We know in our heart, we want the sellers to get the most money, but you know what? We're not in their shoes. We don't know what their real needs are. Sometimes that offer is the best for them because of convenience. They don't have to prepare the home. They don't have to do all this other stuff. And you know what? It's easy for them. Just because you can get someone more money doesn't necessarily mean that's better for the seller. It's not always about the money. It's always about the terms and what the seller is willing to accept. So take the ego out, take the emotion out, and start developing an income for yourself. Here's the great thing about these opportunities. When you start building that relationship with that seller, just like Jerry and Veronica said to me, now she's an ER doctor, and she works with all the doctors in the entire, one of the biggest hospitals in the Daytona Beach area. She said, Tom, I'm going to give everyone your names. She had the worst experience. So just because they're a for sale by owner doesn't necessarily mean they want to save money. It's because they don't want to work with us because someone made a bad impression on them. And you know what? It happens all the time. I ran a real estate company with hundreds of agents that most of them, I'm like, I hope they get out of the business. They can't even talk to people. They're ignorant. They're rude. They're horrible. All right. So Bryce, Lyra, what was your immediate reaction when I had this conversation with you? Hey, I got a solution for you. Would you take a look at it? Go ahead, Bryce. She's still, go ahead.
No, I'm here. I'm here. So it was a buyer that came through with realtor.com, and I was like, they had a to sell and they were determined to FSBO it, which was blowing my mind. And I just couldn't, like, it was like that, you know what I mean? Like, listen, so for you to come up with a solution that might actually be a win-win for everybody and still get the deal done. I was like, no, I want the listing. But after I kind of overcame that initial reaction, then I was open to it. And I was like, whatever will make this work at this point, I'll give it a try.
Yeah. So Bryce, and your thought as well. And by the way, they just transitioned their team from another company into ours. And I guarantee if they were with that other company, they would have never known about this as an opportunity. Would you agree to that?
Yeah, they don't coach you in that direction. That's for sure.
Yeah, they don't coach you in that direction. That's for sure.
So one thing that I definitely found out is it's like, as realtors, we have a shed full of tools. Some of us are good at calling cold calls. Some of us are good at open houses. It's just a new tool inside your shed is now leveraging these open doors, all these iBuyers. And, if we were going to look at the buy side, we look at new construction as kind of like this, sure, it's not the traditional way of buying and selling homes, and maybe we don't get the full commission, but if that's what our buyers want, we help them do it and we guide them along the whole way. We barely do anything. We show up maybe once, and then we get our percentage at the very end. This is kind of the same side for listings. We guide them to the beginning, and then we show up once for the inspection, and then we go to the closing table and we get our percentage. But it's very easy. I've been calling FSBOs on Facebook Marketplace, And I've just been like, hey, can I bring you a cash offer in 24 hours? And they'd be like, well, sure, bring me one in 24 hours. And then I can see if I can take pictures of their home, or I use the pictures they've already provided on the internet. And then I just leverage it, show up. It's a 5% from Offerpad. So I show up and I say, hey, I know this.
3% from Offerpad.
Well, that's what we get paid, but their service fee is 5%.
Yeah, their
So if we-
service fee. I'm going to dig into
Question.
that too, correct? Yeah. go
Yeah,
ahead.
so if we show up and I say, hey, this is a 5%, so I think I could probably get you 10 to 15% more. First, of course, I do my homework. And then I say, and then I'll just charge you the same 5%. Would you be more accustomed to that? Because again, I've already brought them a great price point. I've already been able to set the house to know what investors are willing to pay for it. And I'm showing them that I have that cash offer in front of them. And if they're not going to take it, I can leverage it, use it as my advantage.
Yeah. And Bryce, thanks for bringing that up. So guys, what I want you to know is Offerpad and OpenDoor, they charge what's called a service fee, and they charge 5% as a service fee. So their offer may be 400,000, but they're charging a 5% service fee. But here's what's great. In their situation, the buyer was only looking to net 625. They came in at 677, which made it work anyway. Mine was 419. They offered 435. Guess what? It worked anyway. And by the way, it doesn't matter, right? We have to, all we have to do is know, here's the thing. We're bringing them an offer, and then we're building a rapport with them. If they accept it, fantastic, but you got to go through the process with them. So Bryce and Lyra, this is a buyer they were working with that wanted to sell this home. They weren't willing to list with them right then and there. So they're writing offers, and it's becoming very hard to get an offer accepted contingent on a sale of a property. They brought a solution. Now, this group has highly talented individuals in our group, which Mastermind. I had a call with a young lady who's going to be joining our company. And she said, because of your call 2.5 months ago, I earned over $14,000 in commission. Without you, what I would have never earned that commission. I'm like, oh, wow, that feels good, right? But it wasn't, it was just the timing. It was the right mastermind we had. It was the right thing that she needed at that moment that she wasn't getting where she was, period. Okay. So how important are these calls to you to get on is extremely important. Number one, you're going to earn an income. Number two, you never know the impact it's going to make on others for their financial freedom. So I wanted to bring this to you for the only reason that we're not supporting OpenDoor or Offerpad. We're providing an option for the sellers if they choose not to list with us and they're accepting a cash offer. By the way, I don't tell them where the offer is coming from until I sit down with them. I don't have to.
Yeah.
I don't have to disclose where the offer is coming from. I told them I'm bringing them a cash offer. I bring them the offer. And now I'm protected so they don't go into Offerpad or OpenDoor and put their own address in there and knock me out. And by the way, why would they even want to do that? Because now I can at least help facilitate the transaction, earn the referral commission that they're going to pay the same price anyway. Okay.
Can I jump in?
Just because it's the owner is not going to change the offer with a realtor.
Tom, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Do you ever, when you actually disclose where the offer is coming from, do you ever get a reaction from them like they don't want to do it just because they think that they're getting the wool pulled over their eyes because it's Offerpad or OpenDoor? They think they're going to.
Here's the thing, Alexander. That's a great question, and I sit down with them, and that's why we have to sit with them and explain the cost part of it, so they're not getting anything pulled over on them. They feel like, oh, who is this company and why would they do it? They have a lot of questions, and I just tell them it's a publicly traded company that buys a lot of homes, and fortunately for you, they overpay for homes and they're losing a ton of money and they got to keep the money moving. So here's an opportunity for you. Maybe this is bad, maybe not, I don't know, but I want you guys to think about something, or I just want you to hear this clear. I don't go into looking at all the what ifs. I go and dive in and I'm going to figure it out. I'm giving you a baseline of success opportunity, you're going to hit a lot of things through the way, such as you'll get that question, Alexander, like, oh, why would they do that? Or why this? It all comes down to, are you okay netting this amount of money? So when I called Jerry and Veronica and I said, are you okay netting 413,500 versus 419? This is the cash offer. They said, absolutely, we'll sign it. Bring it over. Because he wouldn't meet with me in person. The guy wouldn't meet with me at all. Left the key under the mat. He would not get face-to-face with me. I have no idea why. But anyways, once we got the offer, we met face-to-face. Great guy, know all about him. He likes to, they get hang glide and everything else. So it was a really cool experience. I don't go in thinking about, what if I fail? What if they don't take this? I'm going to read all the articles about OpenDoor and Offerpad. Here's what I tell you. They buy homes. And if they're going to buy homes, why not you help facilitate it? No, I'm not a supporter of OpenDoor and Offerpad. I'm just not. I'm just providing a solution for an income for my family. And here's the other thing. If they're not going to work with me as a listing, why not bring that buyer? I don't care what they sell it for. It's not my money. It's theirs. And they're adults making an educated decision on what they're doing. So stay out of it. You got to do it. And they're going to come back and ask for repairs afterwards too. So ours had a bad septic. They have to replace the whole septic system. That's a very expensive thing. So I went to the seller and I said, they're asking for a full septic replacement. Oh yeah, I knew I was going to have to do that. Okay. I said to Veronica, I said, you're a medical doctor. If you would have sold this home to someone and you didn't disclose that, you'd be in a lawsuit. She goes, I'm so grateful this is coming up now. Yes, we'll give them the credit. See, now it's also about non-disclosure. A for sale by owner does not want to disclose anything. They want to hide everything and then use, I didn't know, I'm not a professional, but it's a non-disclosure. It's a lawsuit opportunity. Okay, so Bryce and Lyra, successful at it. Joe and Michelle Vero, successful at it. Now, some of you are in other states and other areas where OpenDoor and Offerpad may not be in there. I don't know, just log in and see. Okay, express offers. I don't work with express offers. I never went through the training class. Listen, guys, I'm not here to buy and sell real estate. My wife does that. I did it to prove a point and I made $13,000. If I'm just doing it to prove a point, why can't you guys just do it on a regular basis and earn an income for you and your family? Just do it. Right, Claire? Just do it. Stop overthinking everything. We have so many resources at our hands. Now, you're working with a ton of buyers and you can't find them homes. Well, you haven't called the for sale by owners because you got a cash buyer, you got a FHA buyer, you got a VA buyer, and you sit there and wait for the MLS to throw something on the internet and go compete with 25, 30 offers. Guys, and this is just another source. Okay. Use your database first to build a business. This call is just directly based off of how to use Offerpad, OpenDoor, iBuyer programs to financially reward you and your family. Okay. And the best way to find those are for sale by owners. Okay. If you just call it for sale by owner, are you accepting cash offers? No, we are already on the contract. Fantastic. I know that 99% of all the offers that for sale by owners get fall apart within 2 weeks. I'd still like to come by and be a backup because they're going to tell you they got an offer just because they don't want you in their house.
Right on.
Tom, can I ask a question?
Well,
Bill, I got
before you
two
do, Bill,
hands
hold on
up
one second. We got
first.
two people waiting.
I got two hands up and I'm going to come right back to you. And I know you jumped in and you got missed off the call, but I'm going to jump on to questions right now. Rob, I see your hand up, Daryl, and then Bill. Is that okay, Bill? Don't beat me up for putting you third. Robert.
Okay, so I'm going to take this one step further, make it a little bit easier for the people that don't want to have the confrontation with the for sale by owner and the back and forth jibber jabber. Go into your expired listings, find out if they didn't sell, find out if they are any broker advertised. If they are, you can use those photos, upload them into OpenDoor. Bring the for sale by owner or that expired that wanted to sell in the past and offer right when you show up to their house.
Okay. I'm
Brilliant.
gonna jump into something. Make sure you
How do you
ask
do
them,
that?
make sure you ask them first if they're willing to accept the cash offer if you bring it to them. Don't just put in somebody's address and say, I got an offer for you. I'd be very cautious of that. Only because there might be, I didn't tell you I would accept an offer. Just be, I don't know if there's any legality behind any of that, but just watch out for that. Okay. Chris and Daryl.
Hey, Tom. Hey, that 5%, is that for both of them or was that just for Offerpad?
Offerpad and OpenDoor both charge 5%
Okay,
as a service fee.
okay,
Okay.
all right.
It's almost
you.
like their commission for buying it is really
All
what
right.
it is.
Okay, makes sense. Thanks.
Bill and then PJ.
Okay, I wanted to find out, when you talked about the 3% that Offerpad's paying you and maybe going back and saying, hey, you mentioned it earlier about negotiating with the person for them to pay you a commission on top of that.
Yeah.
Like the 1%, that was the 1% for whoever it was, OpenDoor, and then Offerpad's 3%. Now going back to not disclosure, but are they going to see that on the final Alta that Offerpad's paying you 3% and they're paying you 2%?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
So just like mine, I told them, I says, listen, you don't have to pay me anything. I'm getting a referral from the company. They're like, okay, perfect. And if he said, oh, I'm going to pay you 1% or 2%, fantastic. I really appreciate that because the company's actually paying me a referral too. I'm going to disclose that. Even though I don't have to disclose a referral to them, I don't have to because it's not them paying it. But I do. So PJ, I think his hand went down.
Yeah, hey Tom, thank you. I had a question too, like with the expired listings, if we're using those photographs and they were taken by another realtor as a professional photo, is that still okay
No.
for us to do that? Or
No, I would 100% use your own photos because they're gonna, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll go to the property and I'll upload them right from my cell phone right then and there because they actually have like a portal system that you can log into and do it that way.
okay,
So I
yeah,
wouldn't-
that makes sense. I just wasn't sure because that sounds like a real convenient. If that was something you could do,
Yeah.
then you don't even have to go see him.
Offerpad also they'll look to see if there's any type of watermark on it, and then they'll call you out on it. They say I need different photos.
Okay, I thought that's why I wanted to ask, because I thought that might be the case.
Yeah.
And I had another question too, for something similar with this. I was certified through the NOC lending. It's a little different because I guess a mortgage company, but you have to qualify and things. Do these places also make you qualify? It's a little different because they're just kind of buying it outright.
They're just buying it. They're just buying it, and they're gonna do an inspection period. So their inspection period is gonna protect them. They don't care if it needs a roof. They don't care if it needs an AC unit. They don't care if it needs a water heater. They're not gonna buy something with a bunch of trash in it because they're not gonna do trash outs. But they will buy a home in disrepair, but they're gonna want the credits for it, 100%.
And I want to add something in real quick. So when you do put in an offer to Offerpad, I'm just going to use Offerpad as the example. You get assigned a rep that calls you, asks you about it. They
Amazing, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I went and put in 3 different ones. I got 3 different reps. Ended up finding a local guy, and he's been going to bat for me. I mean, he tells me that, hey, if we need to come back and net a little bit more, then we'll work it out. And I just have to prove to him why it's worth a little bit more. But he's been changing offers for me. And the other thing is he will call the seller and say, yeah, it's legit here. It's very good. I've worked with Bryce before. He's a great guy, and he helps there. You're pretty much building yourself a team with your rep.
Yeah.
And then there's also big incentives that Offerdoor or Offerpad offers. Just recently, I think it might even be up by right now, but they offered a 5-day vacation to Mexico. So, I mean, it's just a little sweetener, and it kind of does, screw people up a little bit because they're like, what's this little gimmick? But again, get them under contract and then give them another gift. All of a sudden you have a referral partner forever,
Guys, the key is this. I know right now, and I got my cousin Ray on the call up there in Michigan right there. And here's the thing. I guarantee he's probably never even heard this, and he's with a great company. I bet he's never even heard of this in a training seminar. And I've actually helped many agents with other real estate companies do this. Here's the goal. We are looking to grow our real estate business and our database. I have Jerry and Veronica now, and Nancy, I know you're on this call as well. And it was nothing personal. And Nancy was one of the neighbors. It was nothing personal. They had such the worst experience with a realtor in the past. They didn't even open the door to their own neighbor to help them sell this property. That's how poisoned they were. But I have a great referral source now. And, you know, so here's the thing, guys. Focus on, if you can't get the listing, or you want to build a rapport because you're bringing a cash offer, it's an open door opportunity for a relationship. And I challenge every single one of you today to take action, whether you do it today or not, take action. If I call a for sale by owner and say, hey, are you accepting cash offers? I want to come and see the property, blah, blah, blah. Isn't that an easier call than saying, hi, I'm a realtor and I'd love to list your home? They're going to hang up on you. They're going to yell at you. They're going to swear at you. They're going to tell you, they're going to report you for calling them, blah, blah, blah. George, go ahead. I got your hands up, and then Lorena.
I just wanted to real quickly say it's real easy to find this. It's a commission agreement. Can you all see this?
Yep.
Okay. And it walks through. It just says what it's going to be. And if you're going to be sharing that with somebody when you're at the table, as Tom has walked everybody through it, you know, you're not doing this over the phone. I work with a lot of buyers. Some are investors. I can probably bring you a cash offer for sure, but I also want to make sure, and y'all remember this because this is legitimate. It's important to me and my partners, and that's all of us, that I know everything that's on the market, because our mission is, of course, to put the right buyer with the right seller. Are you willing to pay a commission? If they say, yeah, I'm cooperating 2.5%, great. Get a commission agreement for 2.5%. And if Offerpad gives you 2 or 3% as well, you're still good if the numbers make sense. If not, you can discount it, doesn't matter, and bring it down so that they make more. But what Bryce said was really important. You're netting this. And I've got to throw this out there because I'm really passionate about this. I don't like these companies. I don't like what they do. Folks, in a declining market, they don't exist. And we will get to a declining market, or a market that changes. It is impossible for us to sustain this kind of growth. None of one anyway. So I'm not looking at this as if I'm supporting them. I'm looking at this, I'm making sure that they're paying as much as they possibly can.
George,
I want to put them out of business.
George, when you were the number one REO agent in the United States, right? Number one,
maybe
REO
Florida,
agent in the United States. Were these iBuyer programs out there?
Nope.
No,
Nope.
of course.
Brett will
they
attest to
weren't.
that as well. We had
And plus, they couldn't buy anyway.
Buyowner.com, Assist to Sell, they're gone. They went away because they couldn't sustain the market.
And they couldn't buy them anyways because the REO companies put in there no investors, right? Had to be
For a
primary
couple days, yeah.
homeowners. So guys, you gotta trust me on this. I promise you, if you're sitting there struggling for an income, or you're sitting there struggling for more listings, just trust me on this. Pull up a darn list of for sale by owners and say, are you accepting cash offers? I have a cash offer for you. I got to take some photos, and then I'm going to bring it to you within 24 hours.
I got one more thing.
Can I say that with absolute?
I'm sorry?
Can I say that with confidence that I have a cash offer?
Lauren, yeah. Well, no,
Absolutely. They're going to give you an offer anyway. It might
Lauren's
not
got
be
a
what
really
they want.
Well, I don't want to
got a great question there.
You know what I mean?
I think what she's saying is she say absolutely, hey, I'm going to bring you a cash offer. No, that's not necessarily the case. So I need to take a look at the house. And this is kind of where we're going with this. I'd like to take a look at the house. What I'd like to do is I'd like to be able to present this, not just to my team, but also to present this to some institutional buyers, or some buyers that I have that make cash offers on properties. I can't assure that that's going to be the case, but I already checked with them. They're not, or they are cooperating with real estate agents if they bring a qualified buyer for the home, which is exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
George, thanks for clarifying that. I just want to come back. I want to do a backwards thing because I can go sporadic, right? George,
Yeah,
can give some leverage to me.
Hey, Tom.
There's only 2 scripts you really need. First script. George, I know you have this home for sale by owner. I'm a real estate agent with EXP. Are you accepting cash offers? Great. Can I come by and do some photos and a quick video? I'm going to submit it to some of the groups that I have, and hopefully I can bring you a cash offer within 24 hours. Would that be okay? I'm not listing with you. Fantastic. That's okay. Great. If I brought you the buyer and you had an acceptable offer and it was a successful closing, would you also pay me a commission? Yes or no, or whatever. They may say 1% or whatever. It doesn't matter. Then I'm going to go to one selective company. Those are the scripts that you really need. Thank you for bringing me back to that,
Hey,
George.
Tom, hey, Tom,
Don't
that's what I
wanna
was
get
gonna,
crazy.
yeah, let me just jump in there. That's what I was gonna point out. When you started out in the very beginning, it's so simple. If I bring you a cash offer, will you entertain a cash offer? You know, we gotta keep it simple to succeed. If you complicate it, you're not good. For number one, you won't do it. And number two, it just won't work. So keep it really simple. I love what you said right from the very start. If I bring you a cash offer, that's the key.
Yeah.
One
Now,
more.
and they can close as quick as 10 days, guys. So people said, how fast can they close? They can close. It's convenience to the seller. See, sometimes sellers, it's not about a quick closing. It's about what's convenient for them. They'll also give them a contribution for a move. They'll also let them stay in the home after the closing. This is huge, guys.
Lyra brought up a really, really good point. She had it declined with OpenDoor, but Offerpad then accepted it. So there is both works. I've got to bring up something because I've gone through and while you're doing this, Tom, I was putting our house in. It says take your photos. So think about this. When you go to property, you're going to ask permission to take photos. Don't tell them beforehand because it's an easy way for them to say no. When you go there, and guys, I cut my teeth on for sale by owners, and literally that is the only people I called for the first 3 years I was in real estate. I'm fairly comfortable being an expert at this. So hear me, when you're talking to a for sale by owner, I want you to consider that your conversations have to be for them. This is one of my all-time favorites. If y'all want this one, just think about this. My name is George Philbeck. I'm a licensed real estate agent. I know you're offering your home for sale by owner, which means you're not listing it, and I'm not trying to list your property. I work with a team of agents, and it's our responsibility to know all the market because our mission is to put buyers and sellers together. Are you comfortable cooperating with a real estate agent if we were to bring you a qualified buyer for your property?
That's right.
They'll say yes or they'll say no. If they say no, say, actually, that's okay, because the service to our clients is the most important thing we do. I'd still like to take a look at the house, because if you have the right buyer, or if you've got the right house for one of our clients, we want to get them in there. We're not really worried about commission. We're worried about service. How do they say no to that? So when you show up at the house, go through and say, would you mind if I take some notes? I'd like to bring this back. And I always say this, I'm bringing it back to my team. I have a team and we're experts in this area. We want to know all the inventory. I'm going to bring this back to my team for our team meeting, which happens to be the next day. And I want to be able to present this to everybody in the team. If we were to bring you a cash offer, would that be acceptable? Yeah, absolutely it would. Do you mind if I take a couple of photos while I'm here, and maybe even a short video so I can really showcase it a bit? Absolutely. There's your photos.
Yep.
Okay. Now, one more thing. I just got to throw this out there. If they say, no, you can't take any photos, I've got it. I've got the pictures up. I've done everything else. So I totally understand that. They're not earmarked with the MLS. So you're all set. If they were MLS photos, you can't use them. But guys, that's the beginning of an 8-week process to get the listing as well. Okay. You're still creating relationships, come from service. They may actually sell it and not use a real estate agent, but you're the agent that was there serving them. Now they're in your database and they are allies, as Tom, they were with you. This is a great opportunity for everybody.
So George, I just want to, and then I'm going to go to Deep real quick. Dina asked about scripts. Here's the script, and Fred brought me back to leveling me out again too, is keep it short, simple, and relevant. Okay. I noticed that you have your home for sale by owner. Are you accepting cash offers? Great. I'd love to come by. I got to take some photos, a quick video. I'm going to submit it, and I should have an offer for you within 24 hours. As soon as I get the offer, I'd love to sit with you and go through it. That's the script. No magic. Keep it short, simple, and relevant to getting in that door. That's it. That's it. Okay. You're going to have some hiccups. You're going to have some questions. You're going to have some concerns. Think about, okay, so if this was being presented to me, how would I look at it? Okay, if I'm representing my seller, how would I look at this for them? Okay, because there's a lot of questions that you're going to answer yourself. I 90% of what Bryce and Lyra did, and Joe and Michelle and Frank, it's all by doing it. You make mistakes, but don't overspeak it. Deep, go ahead, bud.
Tom, what an amazing call. This is very crucial, especially in this time frame. Just a comment. Guys, everybody, I see the comments in there. Are they going to pay this? Are they going to pay that? You guys are complicating this thing. I've done this. It's much simpler than what you guys think. It's much easier, even easier than what Tom and these guys are mentioning this morning. And on top of that, the seller has the flexibility to stay there longer if they wanted to. They can close before. I've been in a situation with Offerpad. They let the seller close on the property and they stay there for one more extra month for free of charge. Where do you get that flexibility? This is not going to be a lead generation that you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. This is a very temporary thing till they last, whenever the money runs out. Like same thing happened with Zillow. So it's very temporary. This is something to get you out of this low inventory crap we are in, aggressive offers we are in. This is something, things outside the box. The key question is think outside the box and keep it simple.
So I started looking more, thank you, Deep. I started looking more into this when some of my coaching clients were like frustrated because OpenDoor and Offerpad and Zillow were buying these homes. I'm like, so how come you're not taking part of that? And they're like, well, you can't. I'm like, yes, you can. And that's when I started to dig into it. So I've had 3 successful closings so far, 2 with OpenDoor, 1 with Offerpad. And again, remember guys, I'm not looking to work with buyers and sellers. I did this as just as a proving a point. I'm proving a point to someone else that didn't want to do it, and I'm earning the money. So anyway,
So what type of
PJ, go
Yeah, I
ahead.
have a
Bud.
question with the, kind of like with express offers, I think we have to get them to sign that we put in the offer first. We can't just go in with it. We have to get
You
signature
have
first.
to, yeah, PJ, one of the things is, PJ, are you accepting cash offers? Yes, I got to come by and get photos and I'm going to bring you some offers. Are you okay with that? Yes. Okay. You just got permission. Nothing has to be signed.
Oh, it doesn't have, okay, that's what I was wondering. So that's enough.
Yep. Will?
Yeah, just a couple of things. I think I submitted one to Offerpad about a month ago, and they were offering a free local move too, within like 50 miles.
Yep.
That's huge too. So that's another bonus. And they gave my clients an offer that I was like blown away by, because it was like 12 grand over comps. And it was in a community where it was homes, single families and townhouses. And I think they just messed up and thought it was a single family or whatever, because during the inspection period, they pulled the offer. And my clients were a little bit bummed. Well, then 2 more comps came into the community, and we're going to list it next week for 10 grand over Offerpad's offer. So
you got a listing out of it.
Yeah.
There you go.
So,
see you guys.
So yeah, it works. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a great alternative. I was curious though, because you can't have it listed previous 30 days and they can't have submitted it on their own.
In 30 days. In 30 days.
Correct. Yes. Now, OpenDoor might be slightly different. You can actually have a home listed, I believe, and OpenDoor will look at it. We had one by UCF and we had it at 455. We were getting offers at 405, 410. Guess what they paid? 455.
Jesus.
And it was listed. So OpenDoor, I believe, will move forward with making an offer if it's listed, if you enter it.
Why aren't you with your listings putting them on there?
Exactly.
Just for an experience. Why aren't you with other EXP agents or other partner agents listings, asking them, hey, listen, can I put it on there for you since you haven't done that yet? Yeah.
Not only that, but then also you get to tell your sellers, hey, I got some offers already. And if somebody calls you and says, hey, do you have any offers on the table? Yeah, multiple. And it's day 0.
Yeah.
So Robert, based on the area you live in, the price is determined on that. So I don't know. I've heard they actually paid up to $1 million for a property too. So just because you got a high-end property doesn't mean they won't purchase that. Because even Bryce and Lyra, they put the offer in at 667, I think it was 667, something like that there, in Orlando, and the house needs a lot of work. So
and we negotiated. It came back wanting $40,000 for repairs, but because they had a realtor with them during Offerpad, we negotiated down to 30 so they can net exactly what they wanted. And now easy peasy.
Yeah, and the seller's happy. And now the realtor, Bryce and Leroy, are happy too, because now they got a property on the contract with a cash guarantee close. So they don't have to worry about that contingency in their on the closing of their home. So I hope this was a huge, a successful call for everyone on the call. I know there's still a lot of what ifs. I'm not a big what if guy. Go make the mistake and deal with the what if. And that might sound rude. I don't mean it in a rude way, but when someone goes, what if, to me, it's like, well, go experience it first. And you never know if that what if is going to be the issue. Because I don't want to comment on a what if that I haven't actually experienced myself. So
I got to add one thing to this. So we've got a listing that we're putting on today. This is just to give you an idea. It's actually going on today or in a couple of days. What we're going to do with this, Tom, is we're submitting this. We've got our photos that came back from our professional photographer who's taken the property. I've got a listing agreement that's signed and ready to go, but it's not active on the MLS, so it's perfectly legitimate. And I'm submitting it to Offerpad like right now, this minute, while we're doing this, to see what they come back with. And I'll drop up a bunch of photos in there, give them a good description. And my goal would be great if we get that offer back today before I place it active on the market. And I could say, listen, we've got this covered for you here. It's gone from a 2.5% commission to a 3% because it's Offerpad. This is your net. Would you take it? No. Okay. Well, that's the first offer we have. Now we got our benchmark. Now let's put it on the market.
yeah, exactly. Guys, they're always, I learned this a long time ago from everything that I've ever done, is your biggest competitor could be the biggest opportunity. So don't close the door on your competitors or top people or top agents or top companies. Look and see, okay, what are they doing and how can we work together, right? Because that's the goal. Always keep your enemy close so you know what they're doing, right? So you can learn to defend yourself, right? It's the same thing. Always your competitor, look at them as your enemy. I don't care, but stay close to them to see what they're doing great and see how you can work together and maximize from it. Because nobody succeeds alone. And if you try to do this on your own way, without anybody else, it becomes very exhausting. You go through burnout, you get frustrated, you want to blame the entire world because your success is not there. Well, the reason the success is not there is because you're not working in a group or a team. See, those who succeed never succeed alone. Fred, I see you looking. I see you look. I wanted to hear what you had to say on that. Oh, I'm sorry, Dina. Go ahead, Dina.
Oh, I just wanted to tell you, you mentioned this a few weeks ago about the Offerpad, and I took you up on it. And I have a home in Winter Haven, and I was preparing a listing agreement, but I told them about a cash offer that I would like to bring to them. Well, we signed it yesterday, the Offerpad. I did it. Oh, and wait, I was going to list it 330-ish, 330, maybe 335. We got 357.5.
Yo, this call is pumping me up.
Yeah, guys, I had to tell you before the thing was over. I'm so excited.
Way to go, Dina.
Dina, thank you for that.
Thank you, Tom. You mentioned it, and I ran with it. No script, no nothing, just me, honest. Just trying to get the deal done.
So you didn't have to prepare and go, what do I need to say? Or
no, I just went in there.
Just do it.
They are so happy.
I'm
proof of the pudding here now.
Hey, Dina, save the best for last. I love it. Well, that's it. They've all been best. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Hey, Tom, I mean, this is like, I don't know. I'm just sitting here chuckling. I'm going, everyone, because I deal with a lot of people when they get in slumps and all that kind of stuff, and people moan and they groan and all this all the time. That's just the way our human nature is. But I'm listening to this call and it's like, where am I? Am I in real estate heaven? Which I am. I tell people I went to real estate heaven after 45 years practicing.
It's awesome. Thank you, Tom.
Oh, you guys are welcome. Dina, that warms my heart because I was actually on a recruiting call for, I don't even know who it was for, to be honest with you. And she said, oh my gosh, I didn't know it was going to be you. We met before. I'm like, she goes, I used to work for KW. I'm like, which one? She goes, Waterford. I'm like, oh, did I make you mad or something? She goes, no, you weren't there when I was there. She goes, I want to thank you. I earned $14,000 I would have never earned without you. And how awesome is that? Whether she joins us or not, did we make a difference? And when you make a difference for someone else, you are going to prosper. That's the goal.
Hey, Jessica Baskey's had a great question. Do they offer a lease back or flexibility for seller to find a new home?
So Jessica, I know Bryce with Offerpad, they'll extend the sale, but they'll only give you up to maybe 1 week. OpenDoor may be different.
So Offerpad, we were doing 30-day close, ended up not getting the house they thought they wanted, so we extended it to 90 days. And I talked to the guy and I was like, what if we still don't find it? And he's like, I'll give you another 30 days. So the only thing they don't want is that price to change.
Yeah, cool. And then now they're not in all areas. Deborah Booth just talked about, like, she's up in Sevier County in Tennessee. Are they in all areas? I know a couple times.
So all you have to do is put in your own property address and see if they're in that area. I know there's 1 or 2 companies that are not in the Fort Lauderdale area. They're not buying. I'm not sure which one, but I told Joe and Michelle all the time, keep trying it almost every day because you never know when they do go in, right? Mm-hmm. So they're growing so fast. The more they grow, the more money they lose, which is awesome. I love it, but I don't care. I don't care. And here's the other thing. If I know if a for sale by owner wants to sell their home for $400,000 and Offerpad offers $200,000 and they take it, I don't care. It's not it is for the sellers. Take the emotion out of it. It's not about you. It's none of your business. And I know we want to make them more money, but you never know their true circumstances of why they'll take that.
For all the altruistic people on this call, that when you say, I don't care, and George.
Oh, I do care.
But no, let me just say this. I want to shed some light on this. Okay. You know who this money belongs to, right? It's hedge funds. And these hedge funds lose billions, but they make billions every day. Not every week, every hour. I mean, like every day. I mean, it's not folks, money circulates. It's floating around you right now. Just reach up and grab some, right? So don't worry that when we say that, it's not personal. It's not, it's very, very wealthy hedge funds. It's all these people, and they may lose it on here, but they're going to make it up somewhere else. And so don't have any emotion there.
Tom, how do we find out if they're in our area or not?
Just put your own address in and see.
Yeah. And if we're not, will it pop up saying we're not in this area?
Yeah.
You get an email back usually that says it. But another thing is, don't be scared to look outside of your area. Like somebody in Tennessee says it's just outside the area. I'm sending them for offers that are 2 hours away. You know, why not? If I don't even really have to go to the inspection anyways, I just got to be there on a phone call the whole time. Yeah. So don't be scared to be a realtor that's going to cover your entire state now because you have this luxury.
Yeah. Alexandra, I always tell everybody, just use your own home address for your area just to see if they're in there. And then for sale by owners, if there's, George and I used to be side by side. I think I always felt I was better. He always felt he was better, but it's an ego thing, right? I think I got more business than he did, but I don't know. Anyway, for sale by owners, if we had the technology and the systems we have today, it would have, we would have, by the way, we were doing 7 to 10 million back then, and the average sale price was 90,000. If we had the systems and tools in these companies that today, we would have been selling a tremendous amount of homes because there's so many different alternatives. It gives the sellers options, right? And when sellers have options, it makes it easier. But again, like Fred said, as realtors, we get our heart inside of the transaction where it's really not about us. We got to step aside and facilitate in a professional manner and take the heart out, because as hard as it sounds to do, you got to do it. because it's not about us, it's about them. And when we make it about what we feel, we get in the middle of the transaction and we can mess it up.
Hey, Tom, it's Robert. I have a question.
Hey, Robert.
So I actually just submitted one to Offerpad while we were going through this. It's for my son's condo that I'm trying to get cleaned up right now. But if I'm reading this correctly, they're basically saying that I can't drop it into MLS or do anything at the time that they're considering this
Correct.
property?
Correct. Now, if you do, their offer is invalid.
Okay.
Now
So-
they'll still pay whatever. So say you have the house listed and you say, I'm giving myself 3%. They'll still pay you that 3% that you have as your listed home. So if you have a home listed for a week and you're not really getting much traction, you can send your home in or that home in. They'll just pay whatever commission agreement you have with the seller.
Yeah, because they're representing the buyer side, so they'll get the buyer side commission. But they still
Oh,
pay the referral.
interesting. I'm gonna
They'll
go
still pay the
I'm gonna go
referral.
rewrite a contract.
25% commission.
So I sold one in Orlando where it was listed, OpenDoor. I put it in OpenDoor. They bought it. They got the buyer side compensation, but they still pay me 1% referral. So I made my commission from the seller plus the 1% from OpenDoor. Okay, so win-win. Guys, I appreciate everyone that stayed on the call. We had 75 total people and we still have 66. That tells me that you got something out of it. Dina, keep doing it. Congratulations. And you know what? I'm really happy for you, Bryce, Lyra. This is, guys, don't overthink it. And when I say I don't care, I don't care. I do care, but honestly, I have to get in my mindset. I don't care how how much someone's willing to pay for something. That's between them. It's not my business. Okay. And any one of you that need any assistance, I would be more than willing to help you. I'm not going to just take a phone call that says, well, what if in this and what if in this and what if in this? No, do the transaction. And then if you come up with stuff, I'll help you through it. Okay. So that's just, it works, guys. Rainey, go ahead, Rainey. And then, I'll take one more question.
Okay, so technically, can I just go to all the houses around me for sale and call Offerpad and say I've got a home
No.
to sell?
No.
I have to have it listed.
No. You can't just go, say that again one more time. Let me make sure I'm answering.
My neighbor down the street selling their house. Can I go to Offerpad and see if they would buy it?
I don't know no, because here's the thing. If it's listed and Offerpad does buy it, they're going to take the buyer side compensation because they're a licensed real estate company.
I got you. Got it.
So if
Yeah.
you submit it,
Yeah, I just
you're
didn't
not
think that through.
representing, you're not representing Offerpad. No.
Yeah, I just needed to talk that through. Okay, got it.
Yep.
Thanks.
Hold on a second, though. There's another thing there. When you're having conversations with people, so what if I brought you a cash offer that gave you 90 days to move out so we could find you a new home? Now, y'all think about this because a lot of us have people out there, and this is kind of relevant. We have people out there that's like, I want to sell, but I don't know where to move. But what if we got you a contract on the property that gives you 90 days at which to find that property before we're moving out? So we're actually building in, we'll actually get it squared away and know that we're ready to go. And then we can schedule a simultaneous close. That's a great way at which to take that listing that you weren't going to be able to get. And obviously you're going to fill out the listing paperwork and get it all set. So before we place it on the MLS, let me see what I can do with this offer. Because that's my mission, is to bring you a cash offer that'll be acceptable, that'll give you 90 days to close. And that gives us 90 days to find your perfect home. We can absolutely do that. But you're going to get a listing agreement signed, and then you're going to submit it to Offerpad. Now, along with what we've talked about, and I had my hand up because I wanted to bring this up, guys, it's simply a matter of doing exactly what Tom said, putting in your own home. Everything you need to know is right there. I know the conversations I'm going to have. I know I need to have photos and a video squared away so I can upload them immediately. And I know that it's going to take about 24 hours to get that return offer, if not sooner, assuming I have everything done. By going into Offerpad, you're going to know exactly what that looks like by putting your own home in there or your neighbor's home. It doesn't matter. Get through the process. You're not going to submit photos. But if it's a real one, take the energy and move forward with it. You will not make a mistake. You won't screw it up. Don't be afraid. Don't be ready to get started, to get prepared. Just do it. Okay. You'll all do this. Go to Offerpad, take a look. Go to OpenDoor, take a look. Then go out there and take over the world. You deserve it.
And hey, George, there's nothing wrong with, going to a real dear friend and saying, hey, and again, now you're getting exposure with another contact saying, hey, I'm working on this. I'm learning to be an expert at this. Let me try to get you a cash offer your home. See what you think, just to help me out. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
Guys, did I
again,
sound like
keep
a
it
real-
simple.
Did I
Keep it
sound like a
simple.
real heartless person when I said I don't care?
Yeah. Nah.
No, not at all. They're
Tom,
hedge funds,
I
man.
put it in the
Hey,
chat. You mean that you're transactional on this, correct?
Hey, these are the same hedge funds, man, that buy loans so they can foreclose. The same hedge funds that cost me $5 million. So I go after them, guys. Make me feel a little better.
Yeah.
So George messaged me on the side, said that he was so happy with this whole thing that he's going to give everybody EXP hats now.
Well, I'm actually, it's funny, while I'm working on this, I swear to God, Bryce, while I'm working on this, I just sent him off and it's got the GPS Global Partners logo. And on the back side of it, I just sent it to him. I said, I want EXP written on the back so that we have them. I don't know how many I'm ordering, but they're going out to those who are participating.
I dig it, man. It looks awesome.
Well, you're teaching a class, man. That's half of it. If you're going to teach a class, I think you need to get a hat. I think that's just appropriate. Appreciate that. We really do. By the way, this was awesome. I know that Tom was teaching it, but quite honestly, you and Laura really brought a lot to the game on this one, was sharing it with him. He had some experience. You added more to it. And that's the principle, guys. Together, we can do anything, anything. Keep sharing these ideas. You don't know how important your thoughts are to us. Every one of you. Will, I'm going to call you out just because you're doing it. I love the fact that you're more and more engaged. You're involved all the time, and you're really coming from contribution. Thank you, man. That means a lot. We value your opinion deep. Same thing. Dina, great for jumping up. You're new. Awesome. Love that you're participating and sharing your stuff. All of you guys. God bless you. This is a partnership about your goals and your success. That's why this is here. Hats are coming.
Hey, Tina, real quick. I'm sorry, Dina. I'm good at messing up names, and I'm looking at it right here and it says Dina, right? And I still messed it up.
That's
Are
okay.
you brand new to the business, Dina?
Yeah, I'm fairly new.
Okay. So the previous, were you with another company before or just EXP?
Well, I kind of have a story, but yeah, I went with EXP when I very first got my license, and I was too new. My upline was in Fort Lauderdale, so I got out, and then I got out of real estate altogether. And I came back with Remax for not even a month. It just didn't work with me. I felt so all alone. And I came back with George, and it's the best thing I ever did.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that, and share what you learn with others, so that way you can open up doors for the opportunity to bring them into our calls to build your organization as well. This is what's so critical is guys, bringing this call as an opportunity to help others grow their business. That's when they start seeing the true value, not in just EXP, but into this organization that we're building here. That's very special. I'm going to tell you, you have no idea how many people come to me on a regular basis and go, can I get on your calls? Can I get that material? Our group does nothing.
Right. That's the problem I had.
Constantly. Right, Bryce?
Yeah, it's funny. I always show all my old KW friends that Excel sheet, the Jumpstart checklist. And they're like, how do I get that? I'm like, well, there's only one way to get this.
Oh, protect the hell out of that, Bryce. We put 4 years effort into that bad boy.
I only ever send screenshots if I even do, just so they can't click on anything. But nope, I don't share that with nobody.
Right on. Thank you.
I hung up before, but can I give some props out real
Yeah.
quick? All right. This is I saw this on Facebook on Adam Bailey's deal. I want y'all to know that George is number 90 in the company. He'd never say this in terms of rev share and on that list. And buddy, I just I hope you're not upset that I'm sharing this. I just want to tell you, thank you, buddy, for
Yeah.
everything you've done. I want to tell you, I love you. And Will said you changed my life. I think there are a lot of people on this call that can say that. And just thank you for everything you've done, because just that checklist you're talking about, who does that? Who does that for their people? Not very many. And just thankful for you, bro. And congratulations, man. I know it's gonna keep going, man. So you're in the top 100. That's insane. Top 90. But go get them, man. And thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, bro.
Really
That's
appreciate that, Bill.
awesome. That's awesome, Bill. I concur with that. I agree, even though I was a total butthead, a-hole, whatever you want, towards George at the beginning. It's made a huge impact for me and my family. So
You weren't really that much of a jackass. I mean, at least that's what I'm saying to your face. When you're not around, I may say differently. Just as a heads up for everybody, just so you all know, we will be, by the end of April, 1,000 partners strong. How cool is that? 1,000 partners strong. And the only thing that is of importance in that statement is that means there's 1,000 of us working together to help each other achieve their goals. And that's the mission behind why we put this. We didn't even design it this way, guys. This was kind of a fluke. And then all of a sudden we realized what's most important. The truth of the matter is, for all of you, it's reaching your comfort level, reaching your goals. If your goal is to sell 10 homes, how can we get you there? If it's to sell 20 or 40 or 60, or with Bryce and Lyra to build a huge team, how can we get you there? If we can get you to where you want to go, and you're going to have to put the work in, I promise you, we're not going to do it for you. This is not a hand-holding session. But if you put the work in, you're going to achieve whatever you strive for. And that is attractive to everybody. So we focus our energies on making sure that you have an opportunity for massive success in your business. And it takes discipline and it takes a schedule. You'll hear me say that all the time. But every one of you have already proved that you're engaged. You're here. You're on the call right now. You can do anything you put your mind to. Don't ever forget that the most powerful person in the world for you is yourself. And your brain holds the secret to everything. If you have any questions on this, plug in every Wednesday. The Godfather, Fred, covers how to get the crap out between your brain, between your two ears, and focus on what is really your true authentic self. And your authentic self deserves every bit of it. Some of you, and I'm going to say this because I have to bring this in, some of you aren't doing the work. It's not on your schedule. Your days aren't really as good as they should be. And truthfully, guys, you only need 3 hours a day. If you're willing to put the work in, you'll get whatever you want, and you can do anything and accomplish things that are beyond your belief right now. It's amazing how quickly it'll happen. Don't sell yourself short. You are amazing.
Yeah, that's the key, George. And number one is that you've got to remember, guys, you've got to be putting it in here and for it to come out. You know, all your powers within you, all your success is already there. You just got to tap it. And please go to Facebook, 101,000 step challenge. That's not an exercise challenge. It's not a who's going to do more steps than somebody else. You don't have to do the 101,000 steps in a week. It could be a month. I don't care. But this idea of programming your mind while you're moving your body is powerful. It becomes 10,000 hours to become an expert. If you want to be an expert realtor, put those headphones on, get walking, and listen to all the gurus. Start with the $1 Million Agent with Gary Keller's book. Start with a lot of stuff is free. And listen to other agents. Or last Wednesday's call, I shared just a real little, someone said, how about business? How does this apply to business? And I just quickly typed in YouTube for them. I typed in how to succeed in real estate business. I forget how many was it, whoever was on the call, 300,000 YouTube videos popped up. Please join me in that 101,000 step challenge. It's right in Facebook, you'll find it. And I guarantee you, if you just do 20,000 steps a week while with those headphones on, any area of your life, relationships, business, taking listings, whatever it is, stock market, crypto, whatever it is, you can do it. You can do it. It's all inside you, but you just need to program yourself. So George, congratulations on that. I've got to run. I've got a 9:45 hard stop, but guys, that was fantastic. Mr. Tom, thank you. Because you are, I am, and love you guys, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Fred. Folks, I got it up here on the board. I think y'all can see it. This is in the GPS Global Partners, which is also my morning mindset. Recommended books. There are some phenomenal books to read, to fill your head while you're doing whatever it is you're doing. These are all on Audible, by the way, on purpose, so that you can go and grab them and then nourish yourself while you're walking, which I love, or while you're exercising, or while you're just kind of in your own space. So if you want it, we put them there. If you've got a great book, let us know, let Tiffany and Joe know, and we'll get it on there as well. I'd love to have as many books on there as possible and have you all be able to click on them and say, okay, that's the one I want. That's great. Okay, there's some great suggestions there. They are business related, of course.